This is good.
Yeah.
We might need some more. Can you pause it? Can you pause it, Micah?
No, we're live.
Are we?
Just stop it. Just stop in the middle of it.
I was gonna pour some more, bro. What the hell, man? We're over here laughing our asses off, man.
This is such an amateur operation.
I want to be amateur. If I'm professional, that means people pay me. You know, I don't really get paid to do this shit. So anyway, Michael, what's up, bro?
What up?
We good?
Yes, sir.
Did you used to play baseball?
Back in the day.
Yeah. So I got a guest on today. His name is Adam, and he is a world-renowned entertainer. And he played baseball for a couple years. He got really good at it, and I think got hurt, like a lot of professional athletes do, and turned to law, coaching kids in New York. And he's a farm boy from either Iowa or Nebraska. I can't really remember, somewhere out west. And now he is the coach or director of these banana crazy fuckers in somewhere down South Carolina, or it's Georgia, sorry. Garrett, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mike.
Anyway, I've got Adam here, man. Adam, what's up, bro?
How you
Welcome.
doing, man?
Thanks for coming to Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for coming to Bank of America Stadium and selling out the stadium in 2 Friday and Saturday night. I didn't even know what the hell this banana shit was, but this dude right here is a car lover, and we know each other from New York City. And he reached out, and I reached out, and I said, hey, what's up? And he said, oh, you want to get together? I was like, you want to be on my podcast? He goes, all right, I will. So anyway, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hey, man. Reluctantly here.
I love it, bro. What's up, man? Anyway,
Aren't we all?
so I want to get a little bit of the facts straight.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah, born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, it's the state just west of Iowa, so you were close. But they all look very, very similar. Farm, like literally you could fall asleep and wake up 200 miles down the road,
Yeah.
and you'd be just fine.
So you played baseball in high school?
I did.
When did you actually start throwing and hitting a baseball?
Man, you know, in the Midwest, there's not a lot. And there was football, there was Cornhusker football,
Yeah.
and then there was College World Series in Omaha.
The what?
The College World Series.
College World Series. Got it.
Yeah. So I grew up loving baseball. My uncle used to take me to minor league games, AAA Omaha Royal games
Okay.
at Rosenblatt Stadium. He just taught me the intricacies of baseball, and I fell in love with it. It was a real escape. I grew up. My parents got divorced at a very early when I was young, in third grade, and so I was looking for acceptance. I was looking for a new tribe,
Right.
And baseball provided me that tribe, and so at a very early age, I fell in love with the game, but not the game of baseball. I fell in love with the teammates and the practice and the locker room, the relationships.
Yeah.
And you know, I saw myself as I wanted to be a baseball player my whole entire life because that provided me acceptance.
Well, here's the big question. Were you any fucking good at it?
Yeah, it was really good. I was really good, man.
I mean, I got a dream. I want to dunk a basketball. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, you were good at it. So what position did you play?
Yeah, I was a catcher.
Catcher.
I was a catcher, man.
No shit. What
So-
was that movie that Kevin Costner was in?
Field of Dreams.
Yeah. And there was another one, too. He was in another one where he was pitching.
Yeah, that was for love of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched that not too long ago. Actually, it was like a rerun from 1905 or something.
Yeah. No, I was born in the 1800s, and but yeah, you know, I was good. I was talented. I got the most out of my ability. I was an undersized, highly motivated, you know, semi-athletic kid.
What's it take to be a catcher?
Grit. It really does. Just toughness.
So tell me this. I've never played baseball. I think I played at a church league and maybe a rec league when I was a kid.
All right, so you're a pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Ken Griffey Jr. on the little whatever games we played when we were in college. I was pretty good at the game thing. But
We baseball.
right, yeah, man, got it. I like Mike Tyson Tycat.
Oh, that was a good one.
But anyway, so I want to know, what are these signals? Like when you see people doing like this is inside and this is like fastball, like this is splitter. Like I don't know what any of these things means.
I mean, those kind of look like gang signals. But so as
the
a
gang
catcher,
of baseball.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You signal the pitch you want if you're the catcher. It's usually one's
But
fastball, two
but you're in
curveball.
charge of what the pitcher's going to do usually.
You're kind of the general of the field, and certainly it's you're trying to get your pitcher through the inning.
Yeah.
And so you're reading a good catcher's reading the hitters,
Okay.
reading the situation.
Tell me some reads. Like if guy's etching in a little close, like he
Oh yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
say bring it in, let him move away from the plate.
Yeah, you'll see a hitter move up in the box.
Okay.
And so when you see that, you can beat him inside with a fastball. If you see him move back, you can slow it down for him a little
You're
bit.
seeing things a pitcher doesn't notice, and you kind of see it right there in real time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
study these players before game and know kind of their tendencies?
Man, I tell you what, when I coached travel ball, at the 13U level, I would go on this app called Game Changer, and I would scout the other team.
Oh, really?
And I would make elaborate advanced scouting reports at the 13U level. I'm that psychopath. I'm that guy that it ruined
I
travel
know
baseball.
you're 12, but you're about to turn 13, and we're about to go to the Little League playoffs, and we're going to be on TV. I know it's ESPN 7, but
Yeah, yeah.
The Ocho.
The Ocho.
how many freaking ESPNs are there now?
Oh, there are a ton of them.
There's so many now.
You know, the Ocho, the Bananas played on the Ocho. It's just something they bring back from time to time. And we
Right.
were so fired up that we were the first event on the Ocho last year.
What does Ocho mean?
So
Eight.
8.
Oh, right
It's
on.
8 in Spanish.
All right,
So
all right.
it was
Espanol.
from the movie
How fucking dumb
Dodgeball.
I am.
They were showcasing Dodgeball on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
The Ocho.
Yep.
That's right.
The Ocho.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
you know, as a catcher, you kind of were the general back there, and you need to be level headed. You need to be calm because the pitcher's out there just fighting for his life.
Could you hit?
I could hit. That's what I could do. I had a hit tool. I could still hit. I just had this hand-eye coordination that I developed at a very, very young age.
Can you play golf?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
play- I bet you can. The
Yeah.
hand-eye coordination.
It's
Yeah.
a different swing, though.
It-
such a
It's
different
pretty
swing.
similar. It's a timing thing. It's technique. It's tempo.
It is. It's you can overswing in it, but I had the rotational power.
Do you like playing golf?
I do. I do. Drive for show, putt for dough, which I can never putt for dough.
Bro, when are you off season? When is like your off
But
season?
oh man, we don't have an off season.
Do you get like a weekend off? Or?
We have like 2 days off a year.
No
No, that's
shit.
not true. That's not true. Our season runs from January through early October.
Okay.
And then we're putting the teams together November, December, and they report early
So
January.
end of October, 1st of November, you have a little bit of a break?
a little bit.
All right, great. Arizona, we have a new home. Come out there, play golf, and maybe I'll
Chill.
invite my friend over here.
So
Go ahead.
we went from high school, and that translated to then college. Did you leave Nebraska?
I did. I went and
Okay.
played baseball at a junior college down in Kansas called Fort Scott Junior College. It was a powerhouse at the time. 1 week before school started, I had no idea where I was going to college. And this college, Fort Scott, came and recruited me. And I said, yeah, I'll go. And the only reason I decided to go is they had their uniforms looked like Florida State, that interlocking F and S. I was like, that's sick. I'm going to go there and I'm going to tell everybody I'm playing for Florida State. So I was there for 2 years, made all conference, honorable mention All-American, so I could play a little bit, and then made my way to George Mason University where I was a catcher for a couple of years.
Sweet. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And did you get drafted or scouted?
Yeah. No, I never drafted. I was just one of those guys, again, that I had the ability. I didn't have the size, and so I kind of
What-
got overlooked.
So what size do you need to be? Like I know what a linebacker in college football
Yeah.
needs to look like, right? But I don't know what a catcher size. Like
Oh,
what
man.
is 6
You
foot,
need to have
200?
quads that big.
Like Micah's?
Yeah. I mean,
He's
nowadays,
proudly nodding.
nowadays these big leaguers are they're football players. They're massive,
Yeah.
massive, and that's not me. I mean, this is me.
Yeah. Do you think steroids was a part of college baseball?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I know football was, but you never really hear other
Yeah.
than the Clemens years, where you like see Barry Bonds and the Clemens and
Yeah.
those boys and like Sammy Sosa, you see those dudes, and then you see what was the McGuire?
Mark McGuire.
Yeah, you see those dudes. It was like home run, home run. It was like a home run derby. It was like
Yep.
everybody started fighting for home runs, right? You just never hear about steroids in college.
Oh yeah, high school and college when I was growing up, those
Really?
guys were doing it.
No shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
It was like the old school anabolic steroids that Schwarzenegger.
D-ball.
D-ball, exactly right. D-ball. Yeah.
It's horrible for you. It'll
I'm-
put 20 pounds on you in like a week. It's like me eating a Snickers bar at 50. Welcome to 50, guys. Your metabolism slows down. Yeah. But anyway, that's cool. So I'm learning a little bit more about baseball, and now let's switch gears. But what motivated you to switch gears from baseball? Because you graduated college, you didn't really make it in the pros, and you have a degree in what?
I don't know. Business
Business,
admin.
whatever.
You know, your
Okay.
basic thing.
Yeah. So then you look in the mirror, you're 22, and you're like, now what?
Yeah.
Now what? Tell me what?
You know, I had a career in an injury, and that was awful.
An injury.
Yeah, my arm snapped in half on a throw.
What?
Literally, I threw a ball to third base.
Where did it break?
Right down here at this. It's called the olecranon.
How does that even happen?
Man, yeah. You know, I had really bad tendonitis, and it never went away for years, and so your tendons become so weak that it couldn't stop muscle from rotating.
Okay.
And so when I threw a ball, my bone fractured on a throw. It did not displace until the next throw, which was awful. So threw it, felt like a pop, just like anything pops. And then the next throw, my bone displaced. This hand right here rolled all the way over. And it's just like bone almost popping out.
And this is during the game?
Oh, yeah.
And you had to get to the hospital immediately?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
surgery immediately?
Yeah. They thought I had bone cancer. They're like, that doesn't happen. So they ran all these tests, scared my mom. And they're like, no bone cancer, just snapped. And so I had surgery, put some plates in it, and that was over, man. That show was over.
So you can't throw a baseball like you used to?
No, not like I used to. I can still throw now. That was a long time ago.
How long did it take for you to get somewhat better?
5 years before I picked up a baseball.
5.
But I had no intention in picking up a baseball because that ship had sailed.
That was it.
That was it, man.
What did it do to your emotional state?
Oh, dude, it was the worst thing in the world. Everything that I worked for, everything I identified up until that point was as a baseball player. It was immediately gone. No more teammates, no more game, no more practice, no more things that I loved about the game.
Your
Gone.
phone just went ghost? How many people reached out? Was it just ghost? It was
You know, back then there was no cell phones in the 1800s.
Right. It was flip
No,
phones.
but yeah, but it was weird because college teammates, we weren't close.
Right.
We were brothers on the field, but like that was it. It was kind of like pro.
Right.
And yeah, that went, man. It was gone. It was awful. It was awful. I had some depression. You know, I never talked to anybody about it, but I knew there was something missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a good 5 years before I could, think about baseball again. I stopped watching it.
So that transition from what just happened, did you focus on anything else? Because I think you told me one time when we were talking, because I told you about Audrey doing a triathlon, and then you said, well, a friend of yours started running, and you looked at that friend and said, that fucking dude can do that shit. I know I can do it. Well, tell me that story.
Yeah, Eric Burns. So that was way out. That was way longer in life. I hated running. I hated working out. I hated doing anything. I just loved playing baseball. And I thought running was. I still think running is the most ridiculous sport that we do. It's horrible for your body. But Eric Burns. Eric Burns was coaching the Bananas when I was with the Party Animals, one of our nemesis, and we can get in that later. Burns is a former big leaguer, absolute savage athlete. And the guy would run 50 miles a day every single day and sometimes more. On his birthday, he runs his age.
Who is this guy?
Eric Burns, former big leaguer, UCLA legend.
Really?
Made a whole bunch of money in the big leagues. And so he just ran 49 miles. He'll do it in all one clip. But this guy's an absolute savage, different than anybody I've ever met. And when I saw him running, I was like, you and I are similar. We're not. He's a whole different animal, but I started running because of him, because I felt embarrassed that there was another man doing something that I wasn't doing. So I started running. When I started running, I ran one time around a track, and I about died. No joke.
Yep.
Yeah,
Been there.
right? You've been there. And so, but little by little, and the advice he gave to me, because I set a goal of doing an ultra marathon, 100-mile race. And the advice he gave to me, 2 things. If you want to do it, you'll do it. It's up to you. And 2, do a little, a lot. Do a little, a lot. Do 1 mile, a lot. 2 miles, a lot. But you got to do it a lot. You got to condition your body to the rigors of this. And so when I get into something, man, I become obsessed. I really do. And so I started running.
But that's what it takes.
It takes a psychotic obsession, like no friends, just in your own world.
So you and Elon can go on Twitter and probably get along at midnight.
Man, I can't speak his language.
But you know what I mean? It's a commitment. That
It
just
is.
complete commitment, that complete
obsession.
focus, that
Yeah,
obsession.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. That's so, you know, we were talking and, you know, off the camera, and it was like tragedies, things that happen in your life fuel you for your next life.
Yeah.
And I want you to go into a little bit of that for me.
Yeah. You know, I think for me, my drive came from not wanting to be embarrassed, whatever that was. And so growing up, hey, you know, kind of an awkward kid, growing up a divorced, you know, child of a divorced family. Dad wasn't around all the time. Great family. I had great parents, but 1 week with your mom, a few days with your dad. And that was embarrassing, being around other kids. And so I needed an outlet, and that's where baseball provided me. But that fueled me. I wanted to become so good that it transcended stuff that I didn't control, right? And so I've always been motivated by fear. I've always been motivated by I'm not good enough. I'm not accepted enough. And that fuels me. It's basic like that. And
Survival, your survival instinct, like you just take over, like you feel like the whole world's attacking you and you just need to fight back.
yeah, and I don't take it like the world's against me.
Right.
It's more, man, I don't want the world to see me in a way that I don't want to be seen. I want to be seen in a way that is inspiring and respectful and respectable, right?
So let's go into inspiring. I know a little bit about you. I did some Googling earlier. You went to college, and then you went to New York, and then you went into law.
Oh man.
So tell me about this law stuff.
Yeah, there was this movie. I had this great idea to go to law school because of this movie called Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money.
I was
Yeah.
thinking you were going to say I met the girl, you know, Jerry
No.
Maguire, but
No.
Jerry Maguire inspired you to get a law degree.
It did. I still wanted to be a part of close to baseball. And what's better than being a sports agent? And I was an intelligent kid. I could speak, I could write. I was raised well. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a law degree because like that seems easy. And so took the LSAT, brutal on the LSAT, never did any studying. Got into the only law school that would take me and graduated with honors. Why? Because I was competing. It was a whole nother way to compete, right? I didn't want to be embarrassed. And graduated law school, made my way to New Jersey doing an internship for a toxic tort firm, doing asbestos litigation, passed the New York City bar, and I was off and running. Did labor and employment, civil rights cases, ERISA cases, a whole host of just kind of nuanced labor cases on the plaintiff side for about 10 years. Hated every single second of it. It was not me.
New York City.
New York
Farm
City.
boy, Nebraska goes
Man.
to New York City. What brought you to New York City? Like, what, you just hit a dot, like threw a dart and said, let's go there?
Yeah, I had a law school professor named Professor Hankey, and he was from New Jersey and worked at this toxic tort firm. And I was like, sweet, let's go there. That looks cool. And so he set me up with an internship, free labor, right? And I loved it. I fell in love with New Jersey and New York. And I love, you know, I got ADD. I need change in my life constantly.
Simulation.
Absolutely. And so New Jersey, ton going on. New York City, certainly tons going on. I fell in love with it. I still love the city. But that's where I cut my teeth on the law. And man, you know, I was practicing in Brooklyn, not just New York City, but Brooklyn. I mean, it's savage.
Yankee Stadium's there now.
Bronx.
Oh, that's Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Different borough.
Brooklyn's not what it used to be either. I mean, it is. When people think of modern day Brooklyn, they think, okay, well, you know, it's got that up and coming charm, and it's been cleaned up, and no, that even 10 years ago it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I'll fly to New York right now
Yeah.
to go get me best bagel in the morning at 7 a.m. Best bagel. Audrey, what street is Best Bagel on? Is it like 42nd or something like that?
Like 37th.
37th, 40. It's like 40th Avenue. It's near. It's like it's like a good 8-minute walk from Times Square, but it's like literally the best bagel. It's called Best Bagel.
Yeah.
You'll walk by 3 other bagel shops.
Yeah.
And this one's lying out the fucking door,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
lying out the door. There's 27 people working at this bagel shop, right? And you'll walk by 3 other bagel shops and the Starbucks, and there'll be 3 people in line. This will be 100 people in line. There's a reason. It's Best Bagel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tompkins Square Bagel is my go-to.
You go to?
Way down Lower East Side.
Yeah, we love New York. Audrey was born in New York City when she was 1, you know, Anyway, but so we take law, and we take baseball, we take Nebraska, and you transitioned a little bit into this, coaching baseball? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. So I decided to leave the law and had a partnership. It was the worst brutal breakup that you could ever imagine. I mean, it was equally as shocking to the system as breaking my arm. And my dad was like, "What's your next chapter, son? What are you going to do?" And I had a law degree and I could go do a lot of things. And I said, "You know what, Dad? I think I'm going to go teach in school. I think I'm going to be a professor and a baseball coach."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Two different things. I can go be a professor and make money with my law degree, and I can do something I love by coaching. And he said, "That's great, but why don't you coach kids first and see if you like it? Because I think they would really benefit from you." And so, all right, cool. And so I got a job in New York City, the only job that would hire me, $15 an hour, giving lessons in a cage, and I was awful at it. I ruined more kids at an early age than
Broke
I
their
helped.
spirits or broke their swings?
Hey, baseball's not for you kids.
No, I didn't break their spirits. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I remember at the first day, little kid, 6 years old, just in there, just a bat on, Yankee shirt, just looking at me. I'm like, uh-oh.
The bad news bears.
You paying for this? This is bad.
Bad news bears.
But I learned my craft, right?
Yeah.
It was survival.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
Got a parent sitting here videoing everything. And I figured it out. And I started learning from really good coaches and then found my own way. And I loved working with kids. I loved inspiring them. I loved giving them hope and trying to make them the hero of whatever their dreams were. That's how I shifted my focus and did that for about 10 years and grew a program called the Bulldog Ball Club to the largest program in the country. That's where I met Jerry Seinfeld and some other really, really amazing people. And, I'm not going to lie, the youth sports game, parents are tough, man. They think
psychos.
They do.
I'm not going to go that far, but yeah. Yeah, they think their 10-year-old is going to get drafted.
Are you kidding me? I coached basketball for like 3 years at the YMCA. The YMCA, like just volunteered, right, to give back. And I coached as best I could. I was fortunate enough to go to Chapel Hill and work with Dean Smith in basketball camps. And I worked for a guy named Brian Adrian. I used to do his camps, George Lynch, John Crotty. So in the summer, I used to travel around and do basketball camps. I was okay at basketball, but I was much better at being the guy that kind of told the kids what to do.
Right.
Out of a loud mouth. I just kind of barked and they said yes. And anyway, I had fun. It was great. It was a good experience. I was basically the dorm attendant. Okay, kids, get on the bus. Let's go here. We got to go play basketball this morning.
There you go.
10, 12, 13-year-olds, I think it was 10 to 12, kind of that range, which is fun. They're still green, but they'll listen, actually.
Right.
Yep.
So it was a lot of fun, man. But yeah, these games, these parents would go nuts on the refs, and I literally would walk up to the refs and like, "Hey guys, this is gonna be a hostile crowd. Like, just bear with us." And I told my staff or my players, "Let's get fouled every play. Let's just get fouled every play, and we'll win the game on the free throw line." And so we practice free throws, free throws, free throws, free throws, free throws. And that's what Michael Jordan taught me is shake your hand, come in, shoot a free throw. And if you make free throws and you're 80 to 90% on the free throw line, you'll win the game. That's what I did. I didn't have many plays. I didn't. It's just go to the basket, get fouled.
Yeah.
That was my coaching style.
That's called the game plan.
Game plan.
Right.
Attack. It's basically LeBron James without LeBron James. No, it's cool, man. I really love that. So tell me some good experiences about coaching, like any really emotional experiences for coaching these kids. Any kids made it out of these leagues?
Oh yeah. We had a lot of success there. We brought a different style of baseball to New York City. A lot of these kids were very affluent kids,
right.
Upper East, Upper West Side kind of kids, and they needed direction. Just the underserved kids aren't the only ones who need help, right? Or direction or mentors. And so I do feel proud about every kid that we were able to help because their dads were working a ton, right? They were raised by nannies, whatever it may be. Moms were doing the best they could, but they needed direction. They needed a father figure, or, uncle.
A locker room.
They needed somebody that believed in them, like unconditionally. And so, yeah, we had lots of success stories, but we had guys drafted. We had, I coached a kid who was drafted in the first round. I had another kid drafted in the third round. We have kids that are still playing pro ball. A lot of kids went to college.
That's pretty impressive.
And would they have been? They were all talented. Would they have been drafted? Would they have went to college without us? Probably. Would their experience in youth baseball been different than with me? Absolutely, because man, we were all about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We were all about relationships. We were gonna work hard and we were gonna compete, but we were gonna love each other. We were gonna respect the game. We were gonna respect our opponents. And most importantly, we were gonna do things right. We were gonna be classy.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's what I learned. So yeah, I reverted back to how I was raised in the game. And so, yeah, I think that is what I'm probably most proud of is I taught these kids how to behave right on the baseball field when everybody else we were playing was going crazy and parents were going crazy and their coaches were going crazy. And our guys would just keep their cool and just keep their nose down
Hey,
and go.
Garrett, he didn't tell you the story about Johnny and Mrs. Jones. There's a piece of paper right here. My name is Jerry McGuire. I get 10% of everything.
20.
Is 20% of everything your son does after 10.
Yes.
Okay, so if he makes any money and makes it to the pros, I'm your agent. I'm an attorney. Sign here.
Yeah.
Did you do any of that?
So there's these guys in the Dominican called Buscones.
Okay.
And what they are is just that. They are trainers.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. They're trainers, and they bring these young kids in, and they train them for free, house them, feed them, the whole thing. But they sign a contract with their parent, and I think they get like 40%.
Yeah, it's high.
Yeah. Yasiel Puig, big time,
name.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's legendary stories about him signing away 40% or 20% of all major league earnings, and I think he signed a $150 million deal. And some guy in Cuba or
Cuba.
Dominican, whatever it was.
Bought a yacht.
Yeah. Oh, bought a yacht. Bought a
big
fleet
boat.
of yachts. Yeah. No, I didn't. I've never taken any money from a 10-year-old kid. Take a turn from their parents.
They
but-
turn 18 and then no.
Yeah.
It's all good.
How did
Yeah.
you set yourself apart? So there are a ton of different. I played Little League. I did that. I actually
You
played.
did?
I played in Reggie Jackson's Little League in L.A.
No shit.
He actually found out that I was not right-handed, which was kind of cool. I threw with my left.
You're left-handed?
I throw with my left.
Oh, right on.
And so he kept me after a game. He goes, "Come here," and said, "Throw me the ball." So I did. It was okay. He goes, "Do me a favor. Put it in your left hand. Try that again." He goes, "I think you're left-handed."
Can you throw with both? Can
But
you
that
throw-
was it.
Not
but
worth it.
I could bat ambidextrous. I'm ambidextrous, so I can bat left or right. But I played Little League. So
Your mom did tell me you fell on your head as a kid, so
I don't think fell was the right word. I think dropped was
Yeah,
what she used. But how would you set yourself apart? Because there are so many different leagues, there's so many different coaches, there's so many different things promising the same thing. How did you set yourself apart to say you were to show that you were different?
Yeah, we cared.
professionalism.
We cared. We were respectful to the parents. Our customer service was second to none, but we actually cared. I would take time. We did so many things for free, extra for the players and the parents that everybody else was charging them, but we cared.
What was
That was it.
What was extra? Like, what would be considered extra? Like, what
Yeah.
would you do?
Yeah. If
After
it-
practice,
after a game, if a kid had a tough
hey, come on
time,
over
he
and
needed
let's-
some confidence, you'd sit there and you talk with the kid.
Yep.
You build up that confidence after it was just crushed after
Right.
whatever happened.
Right.
And I think they can't. We cared. A lot of coaches do care, but we cared on a whole different level about the whole person. And so you feel that authenticity, and that's there's no magic pill. It's not like I have this like formula, but it's just like you feel it when somebody authentically cares about you and wants to help you.
Yeah.
You feel that warmth, and so that's what we did differently. In New York City, it's tough, man, because like there was just so many people out there taking money and false promises. We didn't
Right.
promise anything other than we're going to make your kid work hard and maximize their effort, and that's it. And we're going to show up every day for them.
Accountability.
Yeah.
We've had that
Yeah.
conversation a couple
Yeah,
times.
I mean, we're coaching a business. Like, I'm a coach
Yep.
for my business, and one thing Garrett and I keep talking about is as I get older, my coaching style changes a little. I'm less forgiving. I'm now holding people way more accountable than I did before. I have less tolerance than I did before. I'm going to live my life as high as level as I can, and I'm now expecting people to do the same. I want a certain excellence, and if you can't handle excellence and you can't handle greatness, then there's a B league. There's the major leagues and there's the B leagues. And if you want to play in my league, this is the league I want to be in, and this is where I'm striving to be, is the best in the big leagues. If you want to be in the B league, I'll have no problem demoting you down to the minors. And if you want to be welcomed back later, you can come back to the major leagues. And I think a lot of people are afraid in business to have those conversations with their employees.
We call them A players in the Bananas. We're seeking A players.
Right.
And Mr. Beast had this kind of memorandum that went out. You can find it online. And he talks about, we need A players. Mm-hmm. If you're an A player, you're with us. If you're a B player, there's no place for you here. If you're a C player, don't even think about it. And he goes on to talk about how B players cultivate B and C players. So if your managers are B players, they ain't going to find A players. You know what happens to A players when a B player is their manager? They leave. They get burned out, or they get reduced down to B players. So what you're saying is the major leaguers in our boat are A players. There literally is no place for anybody else. Right. There really isn't. I don't care what the job is. If you're the CEO or if you're loading trucks, you need to be an A player. And if you have all A players in alignment, you literally can accomplish anything. I don't need to tell you. You've been very successful in business. You know how detrimental a B player is to your company.
I'm going to say mainly the C players, because I still have a lot of B players.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have no roster. But I've leveled up to the point where I'm now setting the examples with the A players. So now I have more A players, mm-hmm. and I have more people paying attention and going, Mike's really giving those guys a lot of attention, and he's not really talking to me anymore. And wow, someone's been with the company for a long time, just got fired, and it's just happening. Yeah. And they're having to look. I don't have to have conversations with anybody anymore. They just see it, and they see. Yeah. It's like you walk in the locker room, you can smell fear, or you can smell confidence.
Yeah,
I'm embedding confidence. Like your locker room, when you said these kids that had like a bad game, you can have a bad game, but you can't have a bad games, right?
Yeah.
You can have one loss, but we're not gonna have a week of streak of losses, right? We gotta break through those losses, and it's evolving. Before, when you're running any type of business or any type of relationship, you learn to, like you said, you tolerate more than you should tolerate. But when you demand more for yourself, then you demand more for everyone around you. And I think that's the biggest key, is what do I demand for myself?
Yeah, it's all based on your standards.
Right.
Right? Like we have these great principles in the Bananas, and one of them is hold yourself to the highest standard.
Right.
And Jesse Cole, our owner, explains it like this. He has a 7-year-old son, and he said, I want you to make your bed to the highest standards that you can.
Right.
Okay, well, he made his bed, and he's a 7-year-old, and he made it as best as he possibly can.
Right.
But it's not Ritz-Carlton. It's not Four Seasons. That is the highest standard. And so we want to hold ourselves to the highest standards, not the best we can do or what we think is the best. Literally the highest standards, the gold standard, something higher than that. And if you set the expectation, right, that we are holding ourselves to the highest standards, and here is what that looks like, then people can follow that. If you don't tell people what the expectation or what the standards are, they're going to make it up. Mm-hmm. And they're going to do their best, right, based on their skill set or their experience. But if you set the standard and then you hold them accountable for that, it doesn't mean you fire them or you yell at them. You educate them, because as leaders, we are educators. You said that to me before. We teach, and we give them leeway to fail. We learn from our failures, and we don't want to make the same mistake again. That's missing those, losing a bunch of games in a row. But hold yourself to the highest standards, but identify what that standard is in whatever business it is, because it's different. Mm-hmm. But there is the highest standard that does exist.
All right, we're half hour into this. We've been to some serious talks. Now we're going to have the fun talks. what the fuck is up with these stupid bananas that you work for and that you created? And they're super cool. I saw them on Instagram a long time ago, and I'm like, look at these freaking idiots over here playing baseball.
Okay, so here I had the opposite reaction. I actually am like, somebody is bringing fun to baseball. Because
Thank you.
I mean, really.
No, I feel like
I see them and I'm like, these guys. It was a couple years ago when I started seeing some of these Instagram. It was reels and videos.
I saw them too.
Every single time you swipe, you're
I
just trying to fall
unfollowed.
asleep.
No, I'm just kidding.
You just try
It's
to.
not for you, Mike.
You swipe through and you see these guys and these and they're dancing and they're all doing these weird ass but they're bringing fun to baseball because baseball, no offense, is a boring sport.
None taken. I did not create baseball, so I'm not going to take any offense to that.
But you have a bit more passion for it than I do.
Yeah.
So even playing, you just get bored. And that's why that's why a lot of minor league teams and major league teams try to do different things in between innings and, try to,
Keep the
try
crowd going.
Right.
Yep.
Because it goes on so long.
Yes.
And now with the Savannah Bananas, it's cool because they've made it more. I call them the Harlem Globetrotters of the baseball.
It's a WWE.
Right. But there's entertainment factor. There's values. You can see that there's dedication.
All right, where did it originate? Who started with the concept? Like, who was high or drunk in a room and said, you know what, dudes, we're losing money. We got to do something to make some damn money. And stupid shit on TV is making money right now. Who came up with that?
Yeah, Jesse and Emily Cole, and they were neither high nor drunk at the time.
I'm making a joke.
Yeah, no, they so Jesse and Emily Cole worked in baseball.
Okay.
And they noticed a trend that people were showing up late and they were leaving early. And they were trying to figure out why.
Is this Major League Baseball?
Minor league, like college summer league, independent
Okay.
ball, kind of stuff like
Got
that.
it. Yeah.
And they said why. They were asking the question, why are people leaving?
Okay.
And what they, landed on was people are bored, right? They're showing up because they're just kind of filling this time, but they're bored. And that's why they're showing up late because they don't really care. And they're leaving early because they're bored.
Yeah.
And so they were like, how can we keep people here? How can we get people to knock down the doors and then stay here till the very, very end? And so they said, people want to be entertained. Good, positive, healthy, fun entertainment. And then have a baseball game in it, right? And so when they started with the college summer league teams, it was straight up baseball. Games would go 2.5, 3.5 hours. They couldn't control that. But what they could control is the experience, the fans first experience. The name of the organization is Fans First Entertainment. Anything that we do, we ask one central question. Is this best for the fans? Anything. Is the ticket price best for the fans? We don't charge shipping charges. We don't charge tax, sales tax. If a shirt's $35 online, you're going to pay $35 and you're going to get it the next, 3 days later. That's it. So we ask all these questions. What's going to be best for the fan experience? And so they started just over time testing and refining it. And then here we are present day where we have this really beautiful intersection of entertainment, half rock band, half comedy, half, sketch comedy like SNL, and then the most entertaining baseball that you've ever seen on the field called Banana Ball. We have unique rules. We have a time limit, so you're not going to be stuck there till 11 o'clock. It's going to end at or around 9 o'clock because games start at 7. But during that time period, you're going to show up early and there's going to be a festival going on with music and entertainment and all this stuff. Then you're going to go they're going to open up the doors. Players are going to come by and high five everybody, sign autographs for everybody. We break down the wall between player and fan. Because you go to a major league game, forget about it if you want to see any of your favorite stars. They don't want anything to do with you. We do. And then the game starts. So you already had a full day. If you showed up at 3 o'clock with your family, game starts at 7, and then it's, supercharged. Literally, music never stops playing. Comedy is hilarious. We have amazing promos. One of my favorite promos, mid-inning promos, the world's slowest race. You guys know about this?
I've seen the video.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
World's slowest race.
I
We
know
line
nothing.
up 7 to 8, basically newborn babies who can't walk, and all they can do is cry. and you you put them on one end like a starting block, and you put the parents about 20 yards down the field with
a crawl,
and they say go, and at best you get them to crawl. Most of the time they're just sitting there bawling because they're abandoned by their family. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I don't want to see the fallout 20 years from now when kids are like, yeah, the reason I'm messed up. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm afraid of grass now.
But it's amazing. We have these like kind of like a rock band where they have their hits. You go see, Rolling Stones or Dave Matthews or whatever it is, and you're going to get their bangers, but they're going to mix some other things in there. We have these bangers. So when we play Carolina Panthers here Friday and Saturday, we have things that we know are going to hit from an entertainment standpoint. So we can control that. The game, we can't control, but we have the most talented banana ball players on the field.
I saw a guy, I literally glanced this morning when I knew you were coming on. I was like, all right, let me go do a little research on this. And I found the guy on stilts.
Man, I almost cut him.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, tell me that story.
Oh, man. I'm glad I didn't. He's
Long
the most
hair?
popular. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He gets, yeah.
So he's the guy that plays for who's the quarterback? The dude that plays it in Florida?
Trevor Lawrence.
He's the Trevor Lawrence of baseball.
So 5 years ago, Stilts came to a tryout. It was our first tryout ever for banana ball. We didn't know what we were doing. We just wanted to get the best baseball players possible to play these unique rules to make it look legitimate, right? Stilts comes up to me. I'm trying to run a tryout for 90 guys. I don't know what's going on. He's like, Coach, I ride a unicycle and I can throw and hit on stilts. I was like, what? Where am I? Like, I have a shortstop who played for South Carolina right now. I'm keeping my eye on, right? So tryout goes on. Of course, like, we're sweating. It's probably 90 degrees in Savannah. And he comes up to me during batting practice. And he's like, Coach, should I go get my unicycle and my stilts now? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Go ahead. So he goes out to his truck, gets his stilts, and comes walking in the gate, and the entire tryout stops. We're like, what? And he gets in the batting cage, and he wasn't very good at that time, but it was impressive. There's this guy 9 feet tall.
He could walk on them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they were like carpenter stilts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they were these big heavy things.
Right.
He now has like more nimble ones, but he hit, and he wasn't very good. There was guys way better than him. And when we went in the room to pick teams, Jesse comes in and he's like, "Hey, what about stilts? We need Dakota. Dakota Albritton's his name." And we're like, no, he doesn't. There's 20 guys better than him, Jesse. And Jesse's like, "You don't see the vision. That's going to get attention." And at the time, our focus was on getting the best baseball players, and he was not one of them. Jesse got so mad at us that we weren't going to take him. He like left the room, stormed out, went just pacing around the field. And we're all looking at each other, and we're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Like, we got to figure this out.
Daddy's mad.
So he came back in. He's like, "You guys don't see the vision. This is going to get us attention." And we said, okay, we'll put him on the team, but we're going to make him an entertainment player only. He's not going to take a roster spot from a traditional, a baseball player.
Right.
We're going to make an entertainment player. And thank goodness we did that, because not only is he the most popular player, whenever he gets announced, whether he's pitching or hitting, every single phone, I am not kidding, comes out. If you guys come to the game this weekend, and Stilts pitches or hits, everybody's going to pop their phone up, and it's this.
That's awesome.
It is unbelievable, and he is good now. Last year, he was one of our top pitchers. He's throwing from 13 feet up in the air straight down. Right?
Can you even hit that?
People do, but he strikes out, and he gets a lot of pop-ups and ground-outs. And, the lesson that we learned 5 years ago was you got to listen to Jesse.
Well, there's visionary people, right? That see the vision, right? And then there's the people that have to implement that vision.
Correct.
And so the visionaries are the ones like, it's weird because I was reading some articles on Elon Musk and all the things that he's done and how he's the visionary, and then he drafts and builds the teams, and then he passes on, says, "Hey, make it happen," and he walks away, and then he comes back. And do you get the credit, or does the team get the credit? But someone had to finance it, and someone had to have the vision.
Yep.
And then they had to hire the people to implement that vision. And it sounds like Jesse's the man.
Jesse's the hardest worker I've ever been around.
That's awesome.
I'm 49 years old. He's younger than me, so that takes a lot for me to say.
Yeah.
But This guy is so obsessed with creating the greatest show in sports by creating the greatest fan experience. It is not BS.
So what can we do next? Can it not just go over to like any other sport? Like I'm saying, like, think outside the box. Can you implement any of this into any other type of sport? Like, can tennis do it? Can golf do it? Where can we go and create more entertainment in sports? Is there another sports, like, can you evolve into something different, or is it going to stay baseball?
Well, our focus is on baseball.
Sure.
Is on banana ball right now.
Sure.
We're creating a brand new sport.
What about softball?
Yeah, I would love to. We do have female players that play with us.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, they do.
Oh yeah, we have Valerie Perez and we have a whole host of Ashton Lansdale. They were softball players, but they also play on Team USA baseball, women's baseball.
Right.
And so they've played with us. And so to answer your question, people say that, oh, this works because there's gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
There's no gimmicks. There isn't. There is well-crafted entertainment, but at the end of but central to this whole thing is it's all for the fans. It is fans first, through and through. And so to answer your question, can this transcend other sports? Absolutely. Just focus on your fans, right? Make the fan experience better than it is NFL, MLB, tennis, whatever. We are playing two different things. NFL players, we were just around a bunch of the Carolina Panthers earlier today, and those are the best athletes on the planet. Great. They're going to go out there and compete, and people want to see that. But between the competition, there's a lot of dead time. And Carolina, anybody, I'm not calling anybody out, but the fan experience could be better. And all it takes is an intention. That's all it is, that I want to do right by them. It might cost you a little bit of money, like less revenue.
Hard, like, just think about it. Like, I've been to many NBA games. I was fortunate enough to sit on the actual bench, like the bench players, and like me right there. There was an old owner of the team that was a good friend of mine, passed away. I used to go to games with him and sit down there, and it was a great experience. But I would tell my friends about it. We parked underneath the deck. We got to walk out. We had a concierge. We had bottle service. We in the back. We had food, and we came out, and it was like, man. I was telling my friends, didn't really care much about the game, but man, I had a fucking great experience. I felt VIP. I felt special. I felt important. I'm with him. So it was cool. Yeah. And I think if just an average Joe could have one experience in their lifetime to experience that, they would become a fan more forever. Because like you just said, it's the fan experience, right? And, they give away toys, they give away this, and they bring the people. And it's nice to see the halftime shows where the guy shoots the basketball and wins money and being creative, but give away a fan experience. Like, give it away. Like, let a guy sit on the bench. Like, be right there. When they're calling the plays, I'm like looking right over here at the plays. And I'm like, this is cool. Never seen that before.
Mike, we do that countless times every game.
It's awesome, man.
Countless times. They're called unforgettable moments. And they're spontaneous. They're unplanned. And it could be as easy as taking a yellow rose up to a little girl up in the upper deck and sitting down and saying, you're the best fan of the night.
Love
right.
It.
All it takes is an intention, and people just want to be seen and noticed. And that's all it is. And so we do create unforgettable moments every single game. Some of them are a little bit more planned, where if you have a kid suffering from some sort of illness, or a family going through a tough time, and we kind of curate that.
So, go ahead.
But yeah, like, you come, and if you're just happen to be there, man, you're gonna have a great experience. Why? Because every single player on the field, and all of our 150 staff that we travel with, our focus is on the fan by creating a fan experience.
So I'm going to switch gears. These guys that play for you, do you recruit every year? Do you keep the same team? Split question. Do you keep the same guys? Do you recruit different players? Also, can they make any money? And these are guys that didn't make it in the big leagues, and this is like, hey, I still want to play baseball, but they're kind of an in-betweener.
Yep. So we're 5 years in now, and players are paid very well. Health insurance is taken care of. They're taken care of. They have a great life, and they kind of weed themselves out. They make the decision if they don't want to come back. culture is number one in our game. And so if there's a misalignment on culture, that's the easiest way out, but it doesn't happen a lot. It does happen maybe 3 times in our existence, but you know, it's a great life for these guys. So you have a lot of you have a carryover of teams, right? We are always adding new teams. So we have a scouting department and we're holding tryouts, and you know, we're looking at them just like Major League Baseball organizations are, trying to find the next guy. And so, you know, from a financial thing, every player is paid higher than any minor leaguer at any level, at a base minimum, all the way up to triple to quadruple that. And it's not just the salary that is their earning potential. We have guys, since our platform, we'll play in front of 2 million live fans this year. That's more than the Dodgers are going to play in front of. Okay, think about that.
Insane.
Do they get any royalty rights on their names?
No, well, they have full rights to go and do all their own product and placement things. And so from a company standpoint, from a product standpoint, if you're looking at, hey, who do I want to peddle my products, right, that I can afford, not Tom Brady or whatever, but these guys are in front of 2 million fans. Social media is our game. We know how to do that. These guys are going to be everywhere. We have ESPN deals where we're going to have hundreds of thousands, millions of people tuning in. Kids love these guys. These guys are the new Michael Jordans. They are the new LeBrons of this world. And we have some players doing very, very well on product placement, product endorsements, because of the platform that we provide to them. And then they take it and run with them. Some do better than others, but
how about shoe deals? Do you have any clothing deals or shoe deals with any manufacturers?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Do you want my discount code for all your fans here?
Hey guys, if you want the Adidas, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the Adidas Viros.
No, I watched Michael Jordan's, I guess.
Oh, the movie.
No, his little documentary. It was like 8 series long. I just finally watched it. I finally watched it. I know him, so I finally decided to watch it, and it was good. The competitiveness, the edge, and what he did for the players and the team. But, you know, did you watch the movie about the Adidas? That he wanted to be Adidas shoes, and his mom was like, you need Michael. You got to go out there. And now look at him. He's the biggest shoe deal in the world, right?
He has made literally
$1 billion off shoes.
$1 billion.
Off shoes.
Yeah, off of that deal that his mother cut for him.
Yep. And then he started that trend. With so I think that every NBA player in the league should give him royalties.
Well, they do.
Oh,
like he's an owner of the Air Jordan brand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he is a
So anytime these guys wear it, that's
anytime
royalty.
they sell it.
Well, so because like LeBron, all of those are offshoots of Air Jordan.
Yeah.
Right.
So anytime LeBron's shoes sell,
That's Jordan.
It's a Jordan brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no,
There was brilliance behind that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Nike they came at a place of fear because they were getting crushed by Adidas.
Yeah, and
right?
Converse too. And
Converse. Yeah, they were a running shoe company.
Right.
And they were like, we need to do something different.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it worked out for everybody.
Yeah, and you know, these kind of stories. You know, I've been doing some blogs. I have a little website I started for myself to try to inspire other people. But I'm just writing some new blogs, and I was going to do a story on Blockbuster, and how Blockbuster had, you know, because I remember date night in high school, you know, oh my God, my girlfriend's coming over, we got to go get Blockbuster and go pick the movies. We got to get there by 3:30 or they're going to be all out of the good movies, right? So,
Goonies is going to be gone.
Right. Top Gun will be gone. But yeah, so we go to the movies, and then we realize, you know, later that Netflix started this mailbox thing, and then you see it now, and you're just like, why did Blockbuster not partner or buy at the time? They were, you know, a $500 million company, and they could have ate up Netflix in 2 seconds and acquired them. And then you see how Blockbuster's now out of business, and Netflix is where they are. So these type of deals in the world, you know, your relationships, what you find in business, and then you think you're the biggest, and then all of a sudden they have no fear, and they go, oh well, we're the biggest, and they take their eye off the ball, and they get crushed.
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
There's always somebody out there trying to become you.
Absolutely.
And you know, hats off to the companies who have withstood the test of time.
Right.
But Netflix was almost dead in the water.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like they had lost so much.
Tons of money.
Tons of money.
Hemorrhaging
money. And then they stuck. They knew they were this close to being done, and then, man, I don't know what happened. I remember when Netflix changed their logo.
Yes.
And that was a big deal.
Yep.
That was a big deal.
You kidding? When it went from $7.99 to $8.99 a month.
Oh yeah.
That was like, what do you mean it's going to be an extra $1?
Yeah.
And now it's almost $20 a month.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, they withstood the test of time. And now they're one of the biggest movie producers
They're building
in the country.
They're building almost a $1 billion facility in New Jersey right now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah, so Netflix has got a studio being built in New Jersey near the shore. It's almost a $1 billion project. It's a whole super center. It's a movie like Hollywood in New Jersey.
Big set.
A huge set. Yeah.
Soundstage.
Man, Garrett, you got anything more for this banana dude?
It's just fascinating. So you guys said you have mastered social media.
I mean, we're
you
doing
guys,
a good job.
No, yes, you have. I mean, I can't refute that one bit. What is something that you guys that you've found has worked really well that you think more people should utilize on social media?
Well, we really understand how every platform, what the needs are for every platform. So TikTok is a certain type of content. Facebook, different type of content. In Twitter, X, and then obviously YouTube, long form stuff. And so we understand what those consumers of on those different mediums, what they want, and so we really tailor it to them. We have about 20 videographers that are with us all the time, just crushing video and editing, and they're pumping this stuff out like same day. And so we are, from a velocity standpoint, you're getting in the moment,
Fast.
oh
Rapid
yeah,
fire.
absolutely. But we're putting it on a platform that is the right platform to go on. And so that's the one thing that our media team and our marketing team understand is, hey, what's going to work and what's going to hit, and they're looking at the algorithms and they're looking at all the engagement.
What's getting the most engagement?
They all are. But on TikTok, we have this thing called a 3-2-2, where our pitcher, shortstop, second baseman, and center fielder do a dance and then throw a live pitch, and then whatever happens. And we do it every single game, and the party animals, or our visitor, also does it as well. And I asked Kara Heater, our VP of marketing, I was like, these things, like, I've seen a million of these. Like, are these boring? She's like, they still hit. And I think it's a part of, okay, a bunch of girls like seeing these hot dudes dancing. But then it's also like the guys are like, he really threw that pitch and he got a swing and a miss, or the guy hit the ball, right? So there's this kind of like live sport and with this entertainment, and those hit.
It is the combination of that perfect sweet spot.
It is. It's they're produced well, but there's a unpredictability of it that gets you to watch, right?
Swifties. You have a nickname
Oh, yeah.
for these guys? What are they called?
Who, the Swifties?
No.
The banana dudes?
No,
Well, your fans.
So right now, Taylor Swift's got all these little girls that go crazy for the concerts, right? They're called the Swifties, right? What's your fans club's name?
I mean,
The Nanners?
Yeah, I don't know what they call our guys. We have the K Club. K is the
right.
the potassium. So we have the K Club, but our guys are just banana dudes.
How hard would it be for NBA players and NFL players to, after the game, sit around and actually shake hands with the fans?
It's not hard at all. I just talked to Trey. Was a former Carolina Panther, Trey Boston. We just had a baseball practice. He was out there, and he said to me, he's like, "I love what you guys do. I love how you're engaging with the fans." And he's like, "I wasn't a Hall of Famer." He's like, "I had some good years." He's like, "But fans really resonate with me because I signed every single autograph for every single kid or person who asked me before or after the game."
Right.
And so, how hard is it?
Not hard.
Not
We're doing
hard
it.
at all.
I'm an idiot, and I do it.
You know what the thing is? Everyone that I know that played and they're not in the league anymore, that's the first thing they miss.
Of course it is. Admiration.
They miss it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're like, nobody's asking me for my autograph anymore.
But your question, how hard is it? These guys these professional athletes are so dialed in on every single second of the game, where when it's over with, they're shot.
It's time to be mentally out.
Absolutely. So they don't have social bandwidth. Now, I do believe that you can develop that, just like running or endurance,
You can
anything.
condition for it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But it has to come. It works here because it comes from the top down, and everybody does it. If individually you choose to do that, okay, cool. But like, if you don't have to do it, I don't understand how a grown man, a professional athlete, can walk by a little kid who's asking for an autograph and blow past him. Now, I've said no to people, say not right now, I'm coaching. I'm literally like, need to coach, but I'm going to come get you after this.
Yeah, find me after the game.
I don't understand. I think it's one of the most, awful things you can do to a human is just like avoid them or not even acknowledge them.
So I got one last thing I'm going to finish up with. My mom, I think you heard the story. When I was a kid, I was young. I was the chubby kid, right? So I would, want to be liked. And my mom did something for me one day, and I had problems with auditory. I had, my brain, my brain's stupid.
Yeah.
So, and she set me down and she said, son, I need you to go sit and write your name 1,000 times. And I said, what? And she goes, yeah, you have the lines. So this is the paper that had the lines, like, where you had to really.
Line paper?
Not line, but like real lines, like the multi-lines, and you had to like the line and then another line in there, right?
So you can hit it correctly.
Right.
And
Yeah, so you know where your points were. And she goes, I want you to practice your signature. And I said, when you practice your signature, you're going to be famous one day. And you need to master which signature you're going to have. So that way when you signed, you've done it 1,000 times.
If you go to 803 South Grandview in Papillion, Nebraska, in the basement, you will find about 1,000 of my signatures.
Dude, that's awesome. Solid, bro. Same mom.
That's it, man.
Who taught you how to do that? You just said I was going to do it because you knew we were going to be famous.
My mom used to say, if you can visualize it, you can become it. And so at a very early age, I signed those autographs preparing for major leagues.
And look at you.
And
the Swifties are coming out of the blue to get you to sign there. They have you
K
look good.
Club.
Do you still wear a cup while you coach?
I will. If
Garrett's dying over here. I wish you could see him right now. He's turning red.
I'm wearing a cup right now.
Well, he's a catcher, man. So I figured he just walks around with one. It's like part of his life.
You never know when an errant ball is coming your way.
You never know. All right, when you get hit by one,
you'll know.
And I want a cup.
Yes, 100%. I had 2 instances where I was saved by one of those.
Hey, cheers, my brother.
Cheers, brother.
Hey, that was 1 hour, 3 minutes. I'm trying to get him down to an hour. Garrett, thanks for being my good sport. Micah, you fired. You're not getting shit out fast enough. This guy's got 25 fucking videographers. Let's go. Anyway, man, it was very nice to have you on here.
Thanks, buddy.
Hope the audience learned a few things about you. Go support the Bananas. You guys sell out in Bank of America Stadium. I think that is
twice. Let's get it right.
I don't think the Panthers have done that in 10 years.
Back to back, right behind each other. That's also really impressive. Yeah. Like that is not something to take lightly.
It's like a Jason Aldean concert, doesn't it? What's that thing? Who's Morgan Wallen? He's the guy that does that now.
Well,
you guys are as big as Morgan Wallen.
I mean, Metallica didn't. They were close, but they didn't even. I think they did sell out Bank of America when they were here.
Did they?
In
I
May.
don't know. The Bananas. I don't know. Well,
but I mean, that's
so.
damn.
We'll maybe go check it out. I've never seen it. And I've watched a couple Instagram reels and I unfollowed them as quick as I. But now I think I'm going to go follow them again.
Follow us back.
Well, I think it was a couple years ago. So the value of what I watched 5 years ago or 3 years ago is probably a lot more value today because you guys have gotten better every year. You learn what's working. It's like anything. Yep. But man, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on this show. Thanks for coming to Charlotte. Appreciate you being my friend and still remembering my number. Garrett, Adam, thanks.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Man, sign off. Mike Burke, Real Talk. Later.